Okay, so Wesley, I really want to acknowledge you for a few things. Once, like me, you're from Belgium, so English is not your native language, so that's one. And the second one is, well, not everybody is like keen to tell something about their transformation, about their life on video. But as I also tell people that come into conversation with me is that we are doing this to help other people and to inspire other people. And the only way to inspire other people is tell our story and see how it can inspire other people. And that's the thing we do. So that's where I want to acknowledge you. Then we know each other way back. Just let me give that situation to people that are seeing this, and then I'll let you explain who you are. So you read my book Model C in 2012, and in that period, yeah, you were starting clown, right? And that's how we met. But that was my introduction, really short. So just tell us something about yourself, and then we'll see where we get with that.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for me to give this opportunity for explaining about my own progress in those few years that we already knew each other. But it's, I guess, already 10 years or 11 years. So, and in 2010, I joined the organization Mediclowns, where you were also coordinating the work
Hmm.
and also coaching the clowns.
Yeah.
And exactly, your book Model C also inspired me to say yes to opportunities, to find new occasions, to find new ways of how I could look at problems, how I could solve problems. But then I became a father, and I also was working as an educator.
Mhm.
So I put a lot of energy in trying to find solutions and trying to find ways to cope with the problems. But I bought a new house. I became a father. I bought a new car. I also moved out, and I also moved in with my wife to be. So all these um, responsibilities gave a lot of pressure to me,
Yeah.
especially with the birth of my son. It wasn't that obvious. So my son, he also was at intensive care for a few weeks, and that gave me really a hit in the face.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
then I got burned out because I always was trying to work past the problems
Yeah.
and to go further and further and trying to say yes, 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 yes to everything and trying to please people and
Yeah.
being there for everybody, because I thought that also was something that Model C taught me, like try to find opportunities, say yes to the moment,
Hmm.
but there's also saying yes to the no and
Yeah.
setting limits.
Yeah.
So like saying no is also a conversation. It's also like, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
And
Even
also,
even no is a whole sentence, right? In Model C, it's
yeah,
like no. No is a sentence, right? It's no. Period, right?
yeah. And it seems easy to say no, but in those 40 years before I got burned out, I was always saying no, but because, always
Yeah.
trying to find an explanation why I couldn't do that for those people. And I always was feeling guilty, like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
please everybody, because if I please everybody, everybody's going to be
Yeah.
uh, pleasant to me, or going to respect me.
Yeah.
But eventually I learned, like from my burnout,
Mm.
I learned what is my real motivation, what is driving me in life, and what is really giving me energy.
Yeah.
Being an educator gave me energy to give the positive to others and also try to help them find a solution.
Mhm.
But what was in it for me? I always was
Before you go
thinking,
there, just that people can resonate because as we are speaking now and a few months back, I realized that I also had a kind of burnout when I ended my artist career. But how did you feel in that period? What did go through your mind when you had the burnout?
I was feeling frustrated. Like I didn't want to feel burned out. I didn't want to feel stuck in my problems. And I
Hmm.
was only looking at the problem of being stuck and not getting towards my job of being an educator and finding the energy to reconsider my job.
Yeah.
But being a clown, in essentially being a clown, that always gave me the same energy, even in my worst
Yeah.
moments of being burned out.
Yeah.
If I stepped into the consciousness of clown
Yeah.
without any judgment, without
Yeah.
any yes or no, just being in the moment and existing,
Yeah.
that gave me an energy that I could not explain. And I was wondering, where does it come from? How
Yeah.
how how do I
We
how
need
do
to
I find
explain.
this
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
fulfilling, and why don't I feel it in my job?
Yeah, we need to
So
explain this.
eventually,
We need to explain this, right? We need to explain this because I'm sure people are going to look at this and they're saying, "Do what in my clown?" Right? So the thing is, for people that aren't familiar with clowning, is that a clown has no past and no future. He always reacts in the now, right? So that's being present, and that is why we, as human beings, miss a lot. I mean, now I am being present with you. My present is 100% here with you, and we live in a time that people are having difficulties with doing that, or they are thinking about their future, or they're dragging their past along. And for
yeah,
most people, it's really difficult to be in that moment. And I'm just explaining. I know you know this, but I'm just explaining this for people that are now confused. A clown. So that's the concept of a clown. Am I saying that like you intended it?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point exactly. Like
Mm.
being present in the moment and also living for the energy and not trying to find energy in fulfilling, like getting a better job, trying to make more money, trying to work harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
It only gave me more pressure, more bad energy. So
Exactly.
eventually I looked at the energy that clowning or like being in the moment gave me,
Hmm.
and what is giving me the energy.
Yeah.
And the energy is actually growth.
Yep.
Seeing people becoming happy is also important, but also for myself it gave me an inner feeling of growth,
Hmm.
like being open, like being in the moment without any thoughts of I need to achieve this, I need to bring that goal to how do you say it, I need to bring that goal to a good end,
Hmm.
to achieve that goal. But eventually I look like, what does also give me the energy?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and like biology, being authentic, being natural,
Yeah.
being in contact with nature is something that drove me into
Right.
finding that energy
Right.
for myself
So
and
if
not
I,
for others. I
yeah.
thought
So
it was a selfish thought. I thought it was selfish for me
yeah.
to think
Yeah.
what would give me the energy. But eventually, by thinking for myself and looking at my own energy,
Yeah.
it actually gave me more opportunities, and people were appreciating me more for being with myself and deciding to set my limits and my goals for myself.
Yeah. So if I get it wrong, you really switch to helping other people and putting all your energy in people, and you switch to putting the energy to yourself first. Is that what
Yes,
you did? Yeah. Yeah.
yes, but also being open for receiving, for other people,
Yeah.
not only giving and always wanting to please people,
Yeah.
but also choose, like, this is my limit, and I set my limit. Like, somebody asked me, could you drive me, or could you help me, or could you go to that event? And I said, no, I don't want to. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy right
Hmm.
now. I have other important stuff.
Hmm.
Before I would say, yeah, I will try my best. I will find a solution. And then I had a
Yeah.
quarrel with my girlfriend, or I had a quarrel with the family because my planning was all mixed up because I was trying to please everybody.
Yeah.
But by setting the limits and looking like what is intrinsically motivating me,
Yeah.
also gave me like choices that I wanted to make for myself. And the choice I made was, I will go for a few decisions at a time, not all at once. I make one decision, and one decision was, I want to be more in contact with nature. When I
Yeah.
was a child, I wanted to become a veterinary or a biologist, but I'm
Hmm.
40 years old. I guess if I would have to do studies, I would be at my pension by the time I graduated. So I decided, let's look at this not as a problem, but like an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, it was a problem, I could not find my studies for biology, but it was an opportunity to find something else that was connected with my intrinsic motivation to become a biologist or a natural specialist. So I became a gardener. And
What exactly did you, because you say it's a decision, but in fact it's a choice you made. You made a choice there to
yeah,
what did make, why did you make it? How did you become to make that choice? Because I was also in that burnout. You don't have energy. Don't want to see people. You don't know what you're going to do. So what was the moment where it switched, where you made a choice and saw, okay, now I made the choice and things are starting to move?
yeah. Actually, I also decided before, I was always thinking, I don't need therapy. I don't need any professional help. I don't need
Yeah.
anybody telling me what to do because I'm not crazy.
Yes.
But eventually, I found a coach, a therapist,
Yeah.
also somebody who told me, like, let's take little steps. Let's look what is really motivating you. Like, go inside the garden and look what you can do, and just take a little step towards what you're liking. So I went to the garden and I saw a rose
Mm.
shrub. So I took my gardening scissors. I started pruning the rose,
Mhm.
and then I thought, like, oh, there's another plant that needs help. So I went to that plant, and by little by little, setting my goals very
Yeah.
close by and very low,
Yeah.
I achieved even better than putting the goal like, now I want to go to work. Next week, I want to go to work. I want to put
Yeah.
everything to the test, like put everything of my energy in it, and I want to go to work. But it was such a high goal
Yeah.
that I could not achieve it. But just by little steps and really finding what motivates me, what do I like, what do I
Yeah.
like to do, and what really gives me that positive feeling.
Yeah.
And that was like those taking those
the,
steps.
the real important things you are telling here, and what I'm hearing in this, and what's also in line with my story and other story, is that there is a point that you know that you need help, right? But that's not enough. It has to be at some point. You not even know that you need help, but you feel, okay, if I'm not getting help now, I'm going under for good, right? And that's also what a lot of my clients, when they start contacting me in the beginning of my coaching, then I always thought, why are you waiting so long for contacting me? I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, everywhere I do things. Just contact me. But it takes a lot of courage, right? It takes a lot of courage to ask
Hmm.
for help, and
Yeah.
and that was also a pivoting moment for you. The moment when you had, I think the moment when you ask for help is, in your brain, there's a click in your brain at that moment,
Hmm.
and then you are like, okay, now I give up, I give over. And that's also a clown thing. To come back into this clowning, the moment the clown gives up, in that case, the moment he's really down and at his worst, then he becomes his best. And that's
Yeah.
also what people need to realize, that people, they are listening now, and that they feel shit, and they feel they are
Yeah.
running around in circles. They are running around there like a dog running runs his own tail. They need to realize that, and this sounds strange, but that's a good thing, because then you are close to the point of asking for help. am,
Yeah.
am, am I telling this correctly?
Yeah, because I was rock bottom. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, I'm sitting here in my chair, I'm just staring at the wall. The
Yeah.
only way is up. Because once you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. And that's something I really also decided for myself. I cannot do this on my own. My
Yeah.
wife cannot help me.
Yeah.
My friends, okay, they are concerned, but eventually you become isolated, and you don't want to speak to anybody. And the first time I went to the therapist was also with a very small heart. I'm really scared, like, I don't want to say anything that's wrong with me because I'm already half a year at home, not working. I'm
Yeah.
feeling lazy, I'm feeling useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the therapist, he told me, that's really hard for you. That must be really, really frustrating. And he was actually saying the feelings I was feeling, and by getting that acknowledgement for
Yeah.
those feelings was already giving me positive energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even I said to myself, I'm not going to cry because there's no reason for crying.
Yeah.
And I also learned, like, you don't need to cry if there isn't any problem. But eventually, I also felt like crying, and he said, if you want to, you can cry and you can let it go.
Yeah,
And
this the same that I have
yeah,
a
that
lot of my clients. They at some point they start crying, but that is, when a client of me starts crying, I know, okay, now I know that I'm said something that resonates, and now it can work. Uh, a lot of
yes,
a lot of people contact me, and they start giving me symptoms. Yeah, I'm tired, and I'm this and I'm this, but they don't tell the real story. What it's about, and
yeah,
the thing I heard also, and that is so important, is nobody can help you but yourself. And once you realize that it is all you, it's you that have to decide, it's you that have to take action, etc., etc., etc. It all starts with you, and
yeah,
that's what it's about. As long as you are putting the finger to other people and judging society and COVID and money and all these things, that doesn't work. It's the point that you decide, it's me, it's all me. Then you can start to change, right?
yeah. And not feeling selfish about it, for also making
No,
decisions for your own and setting limits. Because I always thought like being available for everybody is giving me positive energy.
Mhm.
But eventually I was drowning myself. I was getting drained by the energy of other people
Yeah,
because they were asking, and I
yeah,
was
yeah,
just giving.
yeah,
And now I decided, like, no, I said, so for my job I'm now an entrepreneur. I
yeah,
don't work for a boss anymore. And
yeah,
also, that was something in the past I thought, like, I
yeah,
need to work for a
yeah,
higher status or somebody that gives me a direction,
yeah,
because I need it, because I'm quite rebellious towards authorities sometimes.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now I noticed, like, when I became a standalone entrepreneur, for me it's giving me the energy, like I can make my own decisions. I have my clients, and people are very pleased with the way I work because it's for myself,
yeah.
and I'm doing it not to please them, but to make my job
Mhm.
worthwhile. And also, I'm also I know that I'm worth the money they have to pay me, because I also followed a training for 2 years to become a professional gardener. But I also read a lot of books, so there's also something that motivates me, and I don't see it like a job, because it's something I like. It's from the heart. And
Yeah,
also, seeing plants grow and seeing people happy afterwards,
yeah,
that is like clowning. Also, seeing a child happy,
yeah.
but even seeing a child crying is making me feel happy, because the tension is out.
Yeah.
And after, when they are feeling opgelucht, hoe zeg je dat?
Relieved. Relieved.
Relief.
Yeah, yeah.
Then after you cried, you can feel the relief, and there's a new energy. Like your head is open, your heart is open, all chakras, like they say. I'm not believing in
I
yoga,
need to
but
interrupt you. I need to
yeah,
interrupt you. You are saying so much, all good stuff. So let's break it down, right?
yeah,
First of all, and this is what people need to know. Really, what you did is extraordinary, right? And that's also why I wanted to have you in the call. You went from somebody who was burned out, who was really fed up with his job. Everything went bad. You had a lot of problems, and you turned it 180 degrees or 360, whatever. You turned it around completely, right? Not only did you turn it around, you found a passion again. You found energy again, and the thing is, what people need to know, the only thing that you did was make a decision, was make a choice, and the choice that you made was, well, wait a minute, let the world stop. It's about me now. I'm going to work on myself. That's the thing that's really important. We need to work on ourselves, and the rest will follow. And that's what I really want to express. One, to acknowledge you, and I really saw you. I saw the journey you took, and you began, and where you are now, and that's what people. And the thing why I'm saying this is that you're not a Superman, right? You're just a human being. You are like, yeah, you're older than 20. Okay, we have to acknowledge that. but
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 I'm
you are,
still feeling funny.
yeah, of course, but you are a human being like everybody else. And sometimes we see these these big stories on Facebook from people that go from bankrupt to millionaire and blah blah blah, and these stories are wow. But I don't think the stories are wow. I think the story that you are telling now, that's wow. Normal human
Yeah.
being, is living his life, has a wife and son. I mean, that's the stories where people resonate with.
Yeah, also being happy with
Yeah,
what you have, not with what you want to achieve. Because if you're happy with what you're having right now, you can achieve much more, because you don't set
yeah,
the you don't set the expectations too high,
yeah,
not only for yourself but also for your family
yeah.
and also for others.
That's
And
again living in the now, right?
yeah,
Living now. We had the conversation yesterday where I posted something in the line of we don't need to search for the meaning of life. I mean, why would we search for a meaning of life? There is no meaning of life. The meaning of life is now, because I can walk out my door, a car can hit me, and it's over. So the
yeah,
meaning, there is no meaning of life. It's the meaning of life is the meaning we give life. That's the only meaning. And
yeah,
once we need to have this insight. And at the end of that's my philosophy is it's so easy. And but not a lot not a lot of people do it. And that's strange. I think that's
yeah. once
strange.
once you make the click, it's
Yeah,
very easy. It's like, how obvious
yeah,
can it be? But we're making it so complicated
yeah,
by putting so much pressure on the problem.
yeah,
Like, there's a problem, I cannot go to work, for example.
yeah,
Or there's a problem, I'm feeling too tired. But what are the alternatives? While I'm feeling tired, what can I still do?
yeah,
I can still go for a walk. I can
yeah,
still only go outside my garden 10 meters from here,
yeah,
and I can sit and listen to the singing of the birds. That's something very small, but
yeah,
also an alternative way of not looking at the problem, but trying to find another way past
yeah,
the problem to
yeah,
reach my goal eventually.
yeah.
Because many people, they are only fighting to work on their problem.
Mhm.
But for me, what I learned is there are many other alternative ways to get by the problem without ignoring it, acknowledging, okay, I have this problem, I
Yeah,
feel tired, I accept my tiredness,
yeah.
but still I can do this or still I can do that, and try to find energy in something that I really like
It's
just,
accepting. It's accepting, right, Wesley? It's
yeah,
accepting. Sometimes you need to accept what happens to you, because you can't control that. Something happens, okay, accept it and react accordingly. And you said it again. It's ask for help, and asking for help is not a sign. That's my vision. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. People that
yeah,
ask for help are courageous people.
yes.
That's the thing, right?
That's also like for a clown, it's very courageous to show your vulnerabilities,
The
to
same.
show how weak you can be as a clown, to show your true feelings and
Yes.
sharing it.
Yeah.
That's something children, they are so pure, they
Yeah.
can point it out like you are acting. You are
Yeah.
not real, you're not authentic. And that's also something I learned, being more authentic also towards grown-ups, because we're always indoctrinated by, we need to behave like this, we need to
Yeah.
follow these rules of
Yeah.
social behavior.
Yeah.
But just saying like, oh, fuck it all.
No,
So, sorry,
that's no,
excuse
no, no, no,
my language, but
no. It's the right language here, and that's something I knew and I did, but that through my coaching journey, that's something I realized that is the most. And now we are at the most important thing from the whole conversation is be authentic, be who you are. You don't
yeah,
need to pretend anything, and you don't.
no,
If you feel bad or if you feel this or that, you just can because we are human. We can spill it out. We can say today I have a bad day. Or so what? I mean, everybody has bad days once in a while.
yeah.
And if it rains, yeah, you take your umbrella. It's as simple as that. I mean,
Hmm.
uh, and
And
again,
also bad feelings, like we call it bad feelings, like feeling sad, feeling angry, feeling frustrated. Those are not bad feelings. Those are authentic feelings that
yeah,
also
absolutely,
need space. They also
absolutely.
need acknowledgement.
Mhm.
But mostly people, they don't feel pleasant with those feelings, because if you're feeling angry or if you're feeling sad, even another person that's sitting beside of you is feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
And
just
again,
saying like
yeah,
I'm feeling sad would make that other person even feel more comfortable because you're authentic.
yeah. And
That's
again, it doesn't mean anything. It only means what we give it. If you are telling me,
yeah, it's a
oh,
judgment. Yeah,
it's a judgment. If you are saying to me, ah, I feel sad, for me, it doesn't mean anything. It just means the thing that I give it. And I think this is where we need to be. And this is where we can also close the conversation, that in everything we told and every journey we make, is authenticity is the most important things. And the moment you can be yourself, preferably in the moment, I think then you can conquer everything. Can we
that's
conclude
true.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, like being honest to yourself
Yeah.
is most important, and not only in words but also in
So
deeds. Like
yeah, of course,
yeah, for feelings, but also about thoughts, or also
everything.
knowing, am I judgmental about something for myself? Am I judgmental about something? Or just like you said, okay, this happens and this doesn't have any judgment
No,
to it.
no.
Then we also come to model C, like clowning.
I know, but
You don't judge. You don't
it's all
judge. You
Model C,
just
you know.
are.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wrote the book 10 years ago now, and it's more actual than ever.
Yes.
So final question, Wesley. Uh, Figure from 1 to 10, when you had your burnout, when you were real down. How happy were you from 1 to 10?
Oh, one,
Yeah, and
maybe
now,
two sometimes.
and
Now,
now
yeah,
12.
I can stay 9 or 10.
Yeah, see,
Sometimes maybe
yeah.
7, but that's also about private
Of
stuff
course,
going
of
on.
course, of course.
But
And that's,
eventually,
yeah,
even when I was depressed and negative things would happen, I would come to -5, -6.
yeah,
But now, if negative things happen, I'm coping with it. Okay, that's reality. That's something I cannot change. That's something I cannot go around.
yeah. And that's something, that's really something I want to express. And people say, no, you can't be happiness is blah blah blah, and happiness. No, there is happiness, and there are people that are happy, and like in nine, like a 7 and 8 and 9. Okay, we can even say for this moment, at this moment I feel a 10. That's possible. And
Hmm.
that's also my message I wanna put out there. Whatever happens to you, you can be happy. And your story is like, yeah, it's like proof of that. But we can go for hours, but let
Yeah,
us
yeah, yeah.
conclude. Wesley, thank you very much to take the time to talk with me. And I really believe that a lot of people are going to have a lot of value out of this. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye.
All right.